With a star officially done with WWE and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. As he's been recently seen competing on NXT, Baron Corbin said this about returning to Raw or SmackDown in the future, telling House of Wrestling, "When Hunter has the idea or whatever it is for me on the main roster, we're at 100%. We're rocking and rolling." In a video for Sammy Guevara's vlog, several AEW stars can be seen paying tribute to the Bloodline.
What is that one for?
The Bloodline. You're a bad guy now. You can move here, right?
Yeah. Heroin in there.
Isaiah, you gotta put your finger in it.
I did right here. Look, I put two up.
Speaking about forming a tag team in WWE, Logan Paul said this on his podcast. "I had a crazy idea recently. Dom is super heel right now. Dominik Mysterio cannot get a word out. I'm telling you, he lifts the microphone to his mouth and the whole arena boos. He can't say, he can't cut a promo, and he plays on it, and it's really working right now. They hate him. Logan Paul, Dominik Mysterio in a tag team. The most hated duo of all time. The most hated tag team partners in the WWE, just crushing it. Running through because we have a story arc too. We both did our first WrestleMania together. That was our first WrestleMania. It would be crazy. I'm sure I could fit my way in there. Who cares, third wheeling Dom and Rhea? And honestly, I don't know. Me and Dom, maybe we could go further than him and Rhea." For details on the storyline between Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre, Steve Carrier of Ringside News noted, "WWE has a lot of plans in the pipeline, but we've been able to confirm that they are not recycling the RKBRO angle with Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre." As Chelsea Green has found a new tag team partner in Piper Niven, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported that WWE officials we spoke to seemed happy about the buzz about Chelsea's Got Talent over the weekend. Explaining why he spray painted his AEW World Title belt with an X, CM Punk said this to Sports Illustrated. "When I just started wrestling, one of the first places I found steady work was Mid-American Wrestling, run by Carmine DeSpirito, and we ran a Knights of Columbus Hall in West Allis, Wisconsin once a month. I think the appeal for the fans, there was really cheap beer. I was this straight edge kid that didn't fit in anywhere except for with the freaks and geeks in a pro wrestling locker room. I had not done this straight edge gimmick yet. I was racking my brain to come up with a great idea, and I remember my girlfriend at the time, Natalie Slater, who is still to this day a great friend of mine, pointed out the pot of gold was right under my nose. She was like, 'Why don't you just be you? Why don't you just be straight edge?' All credit to her. That's where it was born. That's why I tape my wrists. That's why I X up my hands, and that's where straight edge means I'm better than you comes from." Looking back on it now, there's a lot of people I currently work with who are not only wrestlers because of me, their words, they're straight edge because of me. It's time to go back to that. Look how powerful it is. That's a nice itch I get to scratch now. Touching on the latest addition to Backstage Hands in AEW, Ringside News wrote that AEW has seen a few former WWE names show up in their company, and not all of them were in front of the camera. Allison Danger was with NXT as a Performance Center coach, but that ended during the pandemic. It seems that might change. For the August 12th ROH television tapings following AEW Collision, Tony Khan made an intriguing addition by bringing in Allison Danger, known by her real name, Kathy Carino, to take on a producer role, re-entering Entering the wrestling realm, Kathy Carino, who is a trailblazer in the women's wrestling style embraced today, assumed this role with a notable presence. With a wrestling journey commencing as a manager in the 2000s, she transitioned to wrestling for Ring of Honor and played a pivotal role in co-founding Shimmer, the pioneering all-female wrestling promotion in the United States. Having ventured into WWE in October 2021, Kathy Carino subsequently experienced her release, along with several others, from the Performance Center and NXT in January 2022. Her familial connections extended to Performance Center coach Steve Carino and wrestler Colby Carino, adding a compelling layer to her presence. As reported by PW Insider, Allison Danger effectively served as a producer during the tapings. While the nature of her involvement remains uncertain at the time of this writing, her impact has sparked curiosity within the wrestling community about the potential scope of her role, whether as a trial engagement or a full-time endeavor. Taking to Instagram, AEW's Paul Wight posted a photo potentially teasing a return to in-ring action as he wrote, "Huge thank you and well done on my new boots, Captain Insano, LFG." When it comes to Edge potentially having his final match in professional wrestling on SmackDown in Toronto against Sheamus, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, "I think the idea was that Edge thought that maybe SummerSlam was going to be in Toronto and was hoping for that, and then that would be where he would retire, because he wants to retire in Toronto. And this is the year he was talking about retiring for real, the second retirement. This is the last Toronto show for a while. I mean, there will be another one, so I don't know if this is the retirement. They're not billing it as such, but his trainer said that it's probably his last match." It would be added that Ringside News reached out to inquire about Edge's current situation. After all, it might make some sense if he faced Sheamus in his final match. It was Sheamus who convinced Edge that he could take bumps again in the first place. We were told by a tenured member of the WWE creative team that there are no plans for Edge to retire after Friday's SmackDown. That being said, his match in Toronto against Sheamus will not be his last. When it comes to a concussion lawsuit being leveled against WWE, pro wrestler Jim Brunzell of the Killer Bee said this about it to Wrestling News. "Here's the whole premise of the lawsuit. The fact that a number of us sustained head injuries, whether it be concussions, knocked out, etc., over our career with the WWE. What the lawsuit said was if individuals, like if Jim Brunzell winds up with early dementia or Alzheimer's or ALS or something related to CTE, and you can't find out if you have CTE until you're dead when they cut your brain open, in this lawsuit, what they wanted the WWE to pay for our treatment in a nursing home." That's basically what it was. There was no upfront money. It was basically saying, hey, if Jim Brunzell has Alzheimer's or dementia and he's got to go into assisted living, we'd like WWE to contribute. It's $12,000 to $15,000 a month to be in those. There were 5260 members talent on this lawsuit that all had some impaired injury over the course of 15 to 20 years. So I hope that they resurrect that sucker, because I think that's the least that we can expect from the WWE. Talking about former WWE star and Hall of Famer Goldberg making an appearance for AEW at their upcoming All In event in London, Dave Meltzer told McGuire on Wrestling, "So you've got 2 weeks. It's not out of the realm of possibility of Bill Goldberg wrestling it All In, but I haven't heard that that's happening. I'll just say that." While there's been reports recently on a heated interaction between CM Punk and Ryan Nemeth, it seems another fight has taken place in AEW, with Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful saying, "Towards the start of Punk's AEW Collision run, during the Canada tapings, Jungle Boy Jack Perry was brought to Collision to film a segment, and the two had words about the plans about Perry was supposedly pushing. According to those on the side of Punk, Perry wanted to use real grass for a backstage segment. Punk was of the belief that he did this so he didn't need to come to work the next next week, which he sees as a big problem in the company. Per Punk's side of things, Perry was going against production doctors and Tony Schiavone advising him not to do it and them telling him that smashing real glass was a safety hazard, and Perry wasn't happy with that. Shortly after, there were guidelines put in place and forwarded to talent of things that required clearance. Punk's claim was that he was asked to step in and calmly said that they don't do that on Saturdays for Collision, and if he doesn't like it, he could stay on Wednesdays. Word of the situation had made its way around the locker room and was referred to as an argument. Punk's claim was that Perry was throwing a temper tantrum over the spot not being cleared and people trying to prevent it. We reached out to Jack Perry but did not hear back. We weren't told how the situation ended, but several that we heard from agreed with the stance Punk at least claimed. Previously, Lacey Evans, who had not been seen on WWE programming since June, had hinted at her contract with the company expiring. Yesterday, she would write that, "When the clock strikes 12, you will address me as Macy Estrella from here on out. Oh, and this jacket is up for grabs. Be on the lookout." A fan would even suggest for her to start an OnlyFans account, with her reacting to that. Now, it appears that she is done with WWE. As Ringside News wrote, Dave Meltzer has now confirmed on F4W Online that Lacey Evans is done with WWE. Although no other details were given, her time with the company has come to an end. Lacey Evans recently updated her social media to Limitless Macy. She also dropped a post on X that led many to believe she is waiting for her contract to end. She also dropped another big clue that she's leaving WWE. Fightful would add that Lacey Evans' Instagram now refers to her as formerly known as WWE superstar Lacey Evans. WWE have not confirmed a release to us. She has indicated that her deal was up at midnight. There haven't been any internal notifications about it, and she hasn't been involved in recent creative. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.